Hi, my name's Linda and I have both asthma and allergies. So I was diagnosed as having asthma when I was very small, at the same time as my family. And since then, my asthma has been fairly mild and controlled. However, it's easily triggered by things like strong smells, specifically like chemicals, perfumes, cleaning fluids. If I'm unwell, if I'm taking part in sports, animal hair, things like that, so that because of my allergies, so my allergies can impact it. My biggest trigger is when I'm unwell. As soon as I get a chest infection or cold, it always goes into my chest and my asthma is triggered by that. Allergies, I got diagnosed when I was a little bit older with my allergy to dust and animal hair and hay fever, but obviously I had all the symptoms, it went missed for a long time. And then recently, over the last couple of years, I've been diagnosed with an allergy to milk. So for asthma, I have never really appreciated how asthma can impact somebody's life. I think because mine's been quite mild and I always just see it as something that I've always had and I get on with it, which is not always the best attitude to have because it does mean that sometimes I don't take it seriously. So I've been in situations where I have been quite unwell with my asthma and have asked the doctors for steroids to help me, and they've said I don't need them because actually I just need antibiotics. And it's that trying to get them to understand that my asthma plan is that if I have a chest infection, generally I'll need steroids because my lungs can't cope with that. So from my point of view, it's hard for me to take my asthma seriously when the medical people that are meant to help me don't always take it seriously. I've been in situations when I was in school that your inhaler had to stay with the receptionist because people might take your inhaler from you, which meant that when I did need it, I had to try and fetch somebody down to get me my inhaler, which sometimes also could be problematic. My first asthma attack was when I was very small and I was playing a game with my granda and I laughed so much I just couldn't breathe. I smile because it was a really good memory of this playing with my granda, but it was also really scary because I couldn't breathe and I couldn't control it. As I've gotten older, things are impacting my asthma a bit more, so I'm getting a bit more chest infections and things, just possibly because of my job, the environment and things. People not necessarily cover their mouths when they're sneezing. So as soon as I get ill, it's generally going to go into my asthma. I have to increase my preventer inhaler in the morning and carry my balloon inhaler in my pocket. So it doesn't stay in my bag at that point, it's got to be in my pocket because I do start taking it a lot more. So just when I'm ill and it's in my asthma, even talking to somebody can make me lose my breath and really struggle. And I've been in situations where people have said, "You look fine, why are you taking your inhaler?" And it can be really hard because I know I need my inhaler. I'm starting that wheezy cough, my chest is feeling tight, and I know once I take it, I'm going to be fine. But it's that whole question of why you're taking it. But in honesty, I actually don't generally take my inhaler in public very often. And it's the stigma about asthma. It's for the geeky kids that get bullied in school. And even as a grown up now, that shouldn't bother me. I still feel that really self-conscious feeling that I've got asthma and people are going to judge me for it. And it's a real shame because nobody should feel judged for having an illness. My allergies are controlled by antihistamines. So I've been taking Benadryl Plus since I was quite young. They tested me on different things, but Benadryl Plus seemed to help. And more recently, I'm on a new antihistamine for the milk. So with my allergies, my eyes get really itchy, my nose starts to run, I get migraines. I've seen me rub my eyes so much that I kind of struggle to open and close them because they're so swollen. And some days, if, for example, I've been around certain animals and my nose will start bleeding because the allergy's gotten that bad. But with milk, my skin gets itchy, I get a sore tummy, I'll get blisters and spots on my skin and my mouth can go sore. So I don't need an EpiPen because it's not a severe allergy. However, it is an allergy that impacts my life. So going places and asking for food that's dairy free can be really difficult because actually they tend to cook a lot of food in the same pans and same fryers as they would with a cheese, for example, and that little contact with the milk can upset my skin. So going out to eat is not fun. Or you'll ask for something and they'll say it's totally fine, and within half an hour I've got itchy lumps appearing on my skin. So I can't even imagine how life would be if my allergy was more severe. So I do wish that people knew a bit more about allergies and took more steps to make sure that there was no contamination, because allergies can be life-threatening. And for people who've got allergies that aren't life-threatening, they're really uncomfortable and they do impact people's lives.